Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm one half of the team. I'm Mark. Got Luke. What's going on, man?
Nothing. Look what came in.
Sorry, you froze right when you said. I said what's going on. You froze immediately. So let's try that again. What's going on?
I'm going good. I got a Vince Williams my Vince Williams Jr. jersey came in. I was showing it off.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Nice. It's an absolutely beautiful day again here in Memphis. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Memphis. I love the events. I got some job bites. The job bite today. The little
dude, those are sick.
Those are sick. Secured my pair this morning. I was a busy day for me shopping on Nike.com, unfortunately, much to my dismay. I try not to, but damn it. I got a new pair of Dunks.
So easy.
I got a new pair of those navy and yellow Dunk Lows I tweeted earlier. Those were sweet. But those job bites, those are I'm as excited about those and as I am about the zombies that I got at Halloween.
Yeah.
And my wife doesn't know about either of those, so I guess now she does.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. She doesn't watch our show anyway. She won't know.
She's
in the other room though, and she'll hear me. So she's usually pretty happy about she's pretty happy about my shoe game though. So she's excited.
There you go.
So, usually. So we'll see. But when I drop $400 on shoes in one morning, though, it's tough. It can be tough.
Woo.
Tough pill to swallow. That's okay because I returned some shoes earlier in the month, 2 pair. So like if you girl math it, I kind of got them for free. So
exactly.
That's how I look at it. That is math and it works.
Yeah.
Either way, great show for you guys today. We're previewing the Cavs game tonight. Marc Gasol, Wendigo retiring. We'll talk about that in our second segment. We'll talk about some of our favorite moments from Marc Gasol and his career here in Memphis. And then, of course, we are doing our trade partner segment we've been doing every day for the past week or so. We will continue that through the trade deadline next week. And we will look at the Brooklyn Nets, who we might want to have off of their team, who we think they might sell, and is it possible to get them? So stay tuned for the last segment. I think that's everybody's usually favorite segment. So let's take a look at the Cavs tonight. The Cavs are currently 4th in the NBA in the Eastern Conference, 29-16. They're a good ball club. I know we come on here and we say that every game they're a good ball club, but I don't know how they're going to win. And every game they're pretty competitive. So, but they're good. They're a good ball club.
Man, there's 2 guys specifically that I'm worried about on this team, and I bet one of them will surprise you. I'm surprised about I'm worried about Jared Allen because he's, I think, 7th in the league in rebounding. You know, we just can't catch a break. We go from the number 1 ranked dude in the league to number 7. Like, it might be a little different tonight because we've got Trey Jameson. We got another body. You know, it might be a different story, but I don't know. Yeah. I just think it's gonna be tough. I think he might rebound the shit out of the ball. And I'm also worried about Sam Merrill, dude. I feel like that dude kills us every single time we've played him since he's not been a Grizzly. I feel like every time.
Yeah, the rebounding is going to be an issue. They're 7th in the league in total rebounding. So, like you mentioned, it's going to be tough. They're 11th in offensive rebounds. They gather up right around 11 offensive rebounds per game, which is pretty impressive. In terms of their stats, offense and defense, they are 16th in the league in offensive rating. They are 2nd in the league in defensive rating. So a while back, we played the Minnesota Timberwolves with the number 8 ranked defense. Now you're facing the number 2 ranked defense. Their net rating is plus 4.4, 7th in the league. So in terms of their pace, they're a pretty slow team. 21st out of 30. They don't play at an entirely quick pace, but they are efficient because they have a great defense. They don't turn the ball over a lot. They are 18th in the league in turnovers and their turnovers in terms of like reverse standings, if you will. So they don't do that a lot. And they also generate a lot of turnovers. They generate a lot of steals. They are 8th in the league in steals. So
damn, it's good.
Not great. Their defense is really, really good.
I mean, they're good. We got to take, they've been good, this good without guys in the lineup too. And they're getting healthy, you know, like they're getting Garland back. They're getting Mobley's already back, right? Like they're getting these guys back Whereas like we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. I think Santi just got added to the injury report like a second ago.
Their injury report is Ty Jerome, and that's the only injury report they have. And to be clear, he wasn't playing for them anyway. So,
isn't he like 40? That's not true.
Alabama just got added to the injury report for tailbone soreness. His butt hurts. His butt hurts.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. I'm confused. I'm scared.
I'm confused.
I don't know. His butt hurts. He can't do it. I don't fucking
I've never seen that on an injury report.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a new one for me.
Tailbone soreness.
Yeah, that's weird. I guess he fell hard the other game. I don't know, but that's an update though. That's not even out on the original injury report. So that had to be like in practice or like he fell down in his house or something.
Was he playing?
That's
prank?
So weird. Because they had yesterday off. They didn't practice. They had yesterday off. So I don't know. John Conchar is questionable, so he'll likely play. That's one of those things. He just got to go out and see how he feels. Luke Kennard, Derrick Rose, doubtful. Derrick Rose showing up in the doubtful column for the first time in a long time. I forgot he was on the team. I'll be honest. I forgot he existed, my man. I didn't even realize Derrick Rose was on the team anymore.
Are they activating him in time for the trade deadline?
They'll probably, I would assume, the way the Grizzlies injury report works is doubtful is one game and then the questionable the next game. That's kind of how they do it. So reading the tea leaves on that, you'll probably see. You should see Luke Kennard, Derrick Rose, and John Conchar and Santi Aldama all be back for Friday's game, which would be, I know we're talking about that would be huge.
That'd be
to have that many people back.
It's against the Warriors too, right?
Home game against the Warriors.
Yeah. God, that's always good to win that one.
Do you think, what do you think do you think Trey Jamison and Matt Hurt getting any time tonight? Do you think they play tonight? I mean, minutes, like real minutes.
I think Matthew Hurt probably does. I mean, dude played what, 23 minutes last game? I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's because they only had he was their 8th guy. They had to play him. Well, they didn't have to play him, but he had to be active. But I mean, they had to play him because they only had 8 dudes.
That's true. I mean, he didn't play poorly. I mean, I would love to see Trey Jamison. I would love to. I wouldn't, honestly, I would not be surprised if he got a little bit of run time just for rebounding purposes, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be curious to see what his defense looks like against real NBA players. I mean, I don't know anything about his defense. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know I know anything about Trey Jamison's defense or how good he is or how bad he is. All we know about Trey Jamison is that he's supposed to be a good rebounder. That's it. He's supposed to be big and rebounds the shit out of the ball. Yeah. I'd be curious to see what that, rebounding is a skill. Normally translates pretty well to the NBA. Like it's one of those things like it's kind of like vision and passing that kind of translates pretty good to the NBA. It's hard to,
pretty well.
It's not like shooting kind of is really hit or miss. So I'd be curious to see what he looks like against NBA players, his rebounding and defense. I would like to see him play. I just don't know if he does get any minutes. I guess if you sign him, you want to see what they look like at this point, but I don't know.
You only got him for 10 days. Why not? Why not see?
Yeah. The other bad thing about the Cavs is they are 9th in the league in 3-point attempts. They're 11th in 3-point makes. They're great. They're a very good at defense and they are very good at 3-point shooting. I don't know who does Vince Williams should play tonight. Who does Vince Williams guard for you? Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Spider.
Yeah. I think that's probably accurate. I mean, they're just, God, does
a lot of dudes, man.
Does Jaren Jackson Jr. guard Jarrett Allen?
I mean, I feel like he had. Well, and does X play? Because you might start X at the 5. If you start X at the 5, you might just take your bumps and throw him on him.
If that's the case, if you start X at the 5 and you have Jaren out there as well, and you put X on Jarrett Allen, who does Jaren guard? He's the reigning defensive player of the year. Who is he guarding?
At that point, do you throw Vince on Garland and have Jaren do Spider?
Mobley?
I mean, who? Oh yeah, Mobley. It's Mobley. Sorry, I just
you're probably gonna. I guess you'd probably get him on Evan Mobley is my assumption, right?
Yeah, duh. That's it.
Again, we talk about this all the time. It's a situation where you don't have enough of Vince Williams, right? You really need Marcus Smart out there too. To play some of these, I think Marcus Smart could probably do a good job on Evan Mobley. He's got the size, I think, to at least he's got the effort and hustle to stay with him. Even Vince Williams, if he didn't have to guard Donovan Mitchell, could probably guard Evan Mobley. We've seen him guard fours before.
Yeah, he can do it.
He did a good job on Kevin Durant, for that matter.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it's just going to be a situation where you got you got two of their guys averaging double figures, like you mentioned, double figure rebounds. Jared Allen averaging 10.6, Evan Mobley averaging 10.1 per game. That's crazy.
That's hard to beat there.
Both of those guys are averaging 10 and 15.
But we don't have a guy averaging over 6.
I could really use one of those rebounding. Yeah. I could really use one of those rebounders. That would make me feel great. John 17 is in the comments. He asked if they're going to try to sign Trey Jemison after the 10-day. Likely no. They would probably, if anything, sign him to another 10-day, like we talked about yesterday's show or 2 days ago. They could sign Trey Jemison to as many 10 days as they want, as long as they still are doing it under the hardship exception. So it is not a situation where, yes, as long as those players, the exception is granted for, is still hurt, the exception is not granted for a specific player. As long as they have a singular hardship exception, they can continue to assign a player to as many 10 days as they want. So it can be vice versa. Like they can let a player go and come bring a player back. So, but
I might be mistaken.
The short answer to Trey Jemison is no. They're not signing Trey Jemison to a contract. No.
I mean, I could be mistaken too. I think we're coming up on the time where Jake LaRavia is getting reevaluated. Once he gets reevaluated, then I think we lose one of the exceptions, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say that our guy at Fast Break Breakfast, Keith Parrish, said that the reevaluation for Marcus Smart is on the 22nd. And Jake LaRavia is coming up here maybe in like a week or so.
Okay.
So yes, Jake LaRavia coming back would put them, because it's for every 4 players.
How many guys are there?
It's long-term injuries too. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
You
so if LaRavia comes back, they'll lose an exception.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to get down to a path of us not proving the Cavs. I just wanted to answer the question that John threw out there. Short answer on the Cavs. I think it's going to be, what did we say on the other day against the Sacramento Kings?
It's going to be tough, but you hope for the best.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but we're working with a hope and a prayer. That's what we're working with tonight.
Hope and a prayer.
They're on a back-to-back. I'm pretty sure they're on a back-to-back. If that makes anybody feel better, I'm not sure it does. If you had to, say, hey, here's a game plan for you guys of how you want to beat the Cavaliers, I would say that you want to push the pace as much as you can.
Yeah.
The problem is I think they're going to lull them into taking 3-pointers. They allow a lot of 3-pointers as a team, same as the Kings. And it worked in the first quarter for the Grizzlies because they shot 7 out of 10 3-pointers in the first quarter against that Kings team. Will it work again? Because they didn't. The last 3 quarters, it was awful. For the Grizzlies. Will it work again for the Cavs? I just don't think so. I just don't think they have enough consistent guys to make those shots.
Whereas
and if it does work, then I think you're in the ball game, because that's what happened in the Kings game. They built that 15 to 17 point lead, and that pretty much that they held on to that lead for almost the entire game. I mean, that's what gave them breathing room. This team just is not good enough to get down by 6, 10. You just can't.
No. Whereas this team can hang with you, man. They've got, like we were Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, Okoro. All 3 of those dudes can get a shot. They got guys, and that's not even including Garland and Mobley and Spider. They've got guys, they're a team that can come back from 6 down, whereas we're a team, if we get 6 down, goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a championship contending team for sure. You want to try and hope you can go and steal one, but it is a tough matchup. It's a tough game. They are in the second night of a back-to-back. They've won 4 out of the last 5 games. Hold on. Let's see. They've won a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 of 12 is what they've won.
Jesus H.
I like looked up because there was like I'm on Basketball Reference. There's a little split, and I like looked. I was like, oh, that's a lot of W's. 11 out of the last 12 is what the Cavs have won. So it doesn't look great, but again, at this point, I'm not looking for wins and losses. That's not even what I'm watching for anymore. And if that's still what you're watching for, I think you need to adjust your priorities and this season and this team. You just look, there is no expectations for this team. And for me, I'm looking to them to have fun. What can I see from the young guys? Can I see any development from Gigi Jackson? That's what I want to see. I just want to see them go and have fun. If the game's competitive, great. That's all I'm asking for. If we lose, that's cool too. Whatever. But as long as the game's competitive, I think that's a fun game. And that's what I thought the Kings game was fun.
Yeah.
Was there like some errors in there? Yeah, sure. Right. But it was
watchable till the very end.
It was watchable. It was a great game. I mean, we were there. I was, it took my daughter. It was fun. It was a fun game. You just want to try to avoid blowouts, but those are going to happen too. And even in those blowouts, could you see something from Trey Jemison or Matt Hurt, right? That's what you got to look for in these games. I think the wins and losses thing is, for me anyway, that's not what I'm looking for anymore. I don't know about you.
No. Especially, granted, that being said, would I be super upset if we took it a little easy tonight and came out and smacked the Warriors in the mouth tomorrow? Probably not. If we have to, I do care about beating them, and maybe that's silly. We're not here to talk about that game, but I do care about beating them. But tonight, it's like you said, have fun. Let's see what these dudes that we just signed have in them. Because that's the point of these. That's the point of these, right? What's the point of signing them if they're just gonna not do a damn thing? Just see what you got. That's what these 10-day things are for.
Yep. All right, let's take a quick break. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna talk Marc Gasol when we get back.
Not just the level of individual talent that he plays with, but it's also the level of his mind. We haven't gotten cross-court open shot this year. Right. We haven't seen that pass a lot. Number one, you got to respect him going to the basket. There's a roller. I got to watch the roller. He has the mind to be able to say, I see all of that, but now I see this guy over here. I'm going to get him this open shot. How shifty he is to always be going forward. It's usually side to side.
Yeah.
His dribble moves are side to side, but going forward.
Right.
Which is very hard to defend. I just want to get you, as many times can I get you to do this? But for him, it's not here. It is here, which is what are his moves to get down the floor. It's awkward for a defender to try to catch a cadence. You dribble. So now what I do is when you go put that ball down, I'm going for it. But with him, it's hard for my cadence. But what's my cadence for you? I don't know what it is.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Who do you need to step it up? Outside of David Jones, I think David Jones is David Jones.
I don't think you need him to step it up because he's been performing.
Yeah, he's David Jones. Outside of him, he's fine.
I think Quinterly needs to play better.
In what way? He's facilitating the ball well. What do you I don't
2 at 12 from the field's not cutting it.
It's not great. It's not great.
And I don't need a runner 3 from the top of the key with 3.5 seconds left.
Is Virginia the game where Jordan Brown is going to cook? Those dudes aren't looking to run the ball.
Cook what? Dude, I thought he was going to have a freaking night. He came out with that fresh cut, lined up, and then literally within the first 15 seconds missed a wide open layup. And then picked up 2 fouls right away.
I feel real lied to because I thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy.
Didn't think it did anything for you.
Well, I think
we all thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy. And we are getting that in David Jones.
I'm not even getting 20 or 10 minutes out of the guy.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. We talk Memphis Grizzlies every single day right here at 1 o'clock on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Make sure you go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, stop what you're doing, pause, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I promise you that it's worth it. We have lots of great shows that everybody can enjoy. Got Tigers Untapped. We got On the Bluff. We got our guys, Nate and Daniel, doing the Grizz Not On post-game show. We got Sean Coleman, GBB Live. Lots of great things happening. Soccer coming back. We got Not On One Soccer with Lauren Stockery. And there are even a few more shows on the horizon I can't say anything about, but I promise you'll be excited about. They're awesome. Can't wait to announce it. I just can't do it yet. But I promise you it's worth it. Luke doesn't even know.
I don't even know.
Only I know. Well, and a few other people, but it'll be worth it, I promise. Let's talk Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol announced yesterday that he was retiring from basketball, and immediately today we get an announcement from Grizzlies PR. They will be retiring his number on April 6th against the Philadelphia 76ers this season, the number 33 going into the rafters. Man, is it deserved. I know, what I understand, this has been like a formality they're waiting on, just like Mark to do it himself. Yeah. Before they could, because I think a lot of people are like, why haven't they done Mark? Well, Mike obviously still playing.
Yeah.
Why have they done Mark, But
he's still playing over in Spain, right? Wasn't he still playing Spain?
I don't think he played last year. I think he was he was at one point, but I don't know. I honestly have not kept up with Marc Gasol. Admittedly, I don't really follow players on like social media, so like I don't know.
Yeah, same.
But anyway, let's talk Marc Gasol. Became a Grizzlies fan. Probably not when they first got here because I've always been a bigger Tigers fan. But I know that Marc Gasol is one of the first players I think I ever really enjoyed watching play.
Yes,
maybe earlier than that, but I don't know. Marc Gasol is a special kind of player. What is your favorite moment from Marc Gasol?
So my favorite moment, and it's a whole series of moments because it's what you just said. It's like he was such a joy to watch play basketball. The year he won the defensive MVP, that season where the entire league got to see it, where everybody on TV got to see it, where it was like everyone finally got to see it wasn't just the basketball nerds and the Memphis fans that got to watch him ball. It was everybody was watching him hoop, and he was awarded that. And that felt just like the capstone of just a really a career that got this team a lot. It's a lot of new fans, like a lot of people fell in love with watching this team when they saw the core four and saw Big Spain play, saw when to go out there, man. Like, I've got his jersey. I'd like he's one of the GOATs. He's in my top 3 Grizzlies of all time, and the fact that he played high school ball here, the fact he got to do so many incredible achievements as a Grizzly, like tipping off in the All-Star game against your brother, just really cool things, like it's like, I'm honored that he was on our team. He's one of those guys that I think everyone would have given an appendage to have on their squad for as long as they did. Because he represented the team, he represented the sport on a global level excellently. I don't know if that's a word.
It's not a word, but we can use it. I don't care. It's our show, Luke. We can do whatever we want.
Damn right.
I think that you're right. I mean, I think one of my favorite things about Mark, it's just the way he passed the ball. Like his ability, his vision was always so much fun to watch.
He's doing little Jokic, man. Little Jokic-y.
Little Jokic, yeah. I mean, I think so, absolutely. I mean,
this thing that he used to do.
Yeah, the Conor McGregor walk was always that was super fun. And I think I don't ever remember those games without that in them. That's but yeah, Marc Gasol was great, man. Like, I think that I think Chris Wallace did him a disservice. I did the whole core forward disservice of how bad of a GM he was. Because that team or those players together could have done so much more, I think, with proper people or proper, like if they had Zach Lyman, I think that's a different ball game, right? Like I think you have a lot of conference finals appearances than you probably did, or the one that you did. I think that Marc Gasol did not get to take a full advantage of the player, Zach and Tony and Mike. None of those guys did. The guy ever got to take full advantage of what they should have been, could have been, just because of the pieces around them were never good enough. They were never good enough.
I mean, you look at Gasol when he goes to Toronto, when he's surrounded by a GM with the right people and the right guys in place with the right skills, like with a team built around these dudes, he flourishes and he wins a championship.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm just happy that he was able to go do that. Right. Like Mike, unfortunately, hopefully Mike gets that this year with Minnesota. I mean, he's obviously playing great.
Be dope.
But I'm glad that Mark got that opportunity so quickly. I mean, he was a perfect fit for that Raptors team. And the fact that he did like the grit and grind inscription on his Raptors ring is so cool. Like, like those are the things that are truly Memphis, and I'm happy for him. So let's take another quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to do our trade segment coming up next. We'll talk about the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm just big on being able to vocalize what someone's role is. I always thought my best coaches were the people that let me know exactly what you expect from me. Now, I might not like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you come to me man to man to say, this is how we think we're gonna play you, bang, 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 and hopefully everybody understand. I'm not saying that this has not been done with this team. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying from my experience, we all have egos when we get to this game. Right. All of us, to the last person on the bench, you got an ego, but all of us can't be the man. Yeah, you got to be able to say, okay, he's the man, but what do I do and what can I do to help us be good? And if it's vocalized to you, then you know exactly what. And if I'm out there doing it, and now I'm not getting the result from you, now we got to sit down and have another conversation. Mm-hmm. But as long as it is told to you, this is what we expect from you, this is how we want you to play, then I feel like, again, keeping this logo. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. All right, Christian.
Yes.
You are Penny Hardaway.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Today, you're going to play act, okay? Gabe, because you're a Jordan Brown apologist, you're going to be Jordan Brown.
I'm a Jordan Brown apologist. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Y'all are sitting across the room from each other.
I said, don't tweet him hate. And he's like, you're an apologist. Like, good God. But either way, continue. We're in a room together.
Why did things break down?
Jordan, we brought you in this year to be the centerpiece of our offense. You came in out of shape. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. We play fast. Told you this when we were recruiting you. We play fast. One of the fastest paces in the country. You have to be able to get up and down the floor. You have failed at that.
Oh, well, I'm leaving. So it's fine. Cool.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Come back to the Daily Grind. We're talking trade segment here and the third segment, and also every day until the trade deadline. So we got one more day tomorrow and then 3 days next week. Spoiler alert, you and I talked about this offline, but we will be doing a all-day trade show. We'll be doing a live show all day on the NBA trade deadline day. So there'll be lots of guests throughout the day. We'll be doing that. It will be fun. We'll be reacting to trades as they come in real time. This will be kind of a general NBA show. Hopefully we'll be reacting to some of the Grizzlies trades as well, but we don't know. But let's talk about the Grizzlies trade partner, possibly the Brooklyn Nets. They are supposed to be sellers. And if we don't give everything up to get Ben Simmons, I'm right.
I was ready. I was ready to dunk that in. I thought we were going to alley-oop, and then I was like, no.
Mikal Bridges? No. Go
that's what I thought. I was ready.
Man, they are playing this motherfucker $40 million next year.
I just saw that.
Can you imagine?
I just saw it. I pulled up their salary cap hits, and I was like, fuck.
That makes me sick. And I'm not even a Brooklyn Nets fan. I feel so bad for those guys. Whatever. Let's get on to the people you would like to see in a Grizzlies uniform. I just saw that at the top of their their contracts, and I was like, God dang! During the break, I was like, holy shit, $40 million.
All right, anyway, it's right at the top.
It is tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. Who on this team are you looking at for the Grizzlies?
So, I mean, there's let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 dudes on this team that I would realistically, I realize, I'm a fan of Mikal Bridges. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I like Dorian Finney-Smith. I like Royce O'Neal, and I like Nick Claxton. I like all 5 of those dudes. Do I think all those guys are going to be a good fit on Memphis? No. The dude, other than Mikal Bridges, I would give 5 draft picks for Mikal Bridges, I think.
5 draft picks?
Maybe not. Okay, maybe. Sorry, maybe I'm high.
Lord
Sorry.
Almighty.
I've had a
I mean,
lot
I
of
get it.
coffee
I
today.
might give up 5 too. I don't know.
I'm just saying, you catch me on a good day, and I'm like, if it's after like a really close loss, and
I'm a little
not,
drunk.
I'm not slept much, I take them. But other than that, I love Nick Claxton. I know you're gonna have to pay him. I think he's worth it. I think like a big that can get up and down the court is kind of what we need. And I don't know. I really like him. I would trade some. I would do a lot of stuff to get him, even if it meant paying him, because we may. If you're down, maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Like more about the salary cap. I think we can afford to maybe take another. I don't know. He's someone that I think would be a good investment and is on this timeline, but I don't know. They've got some hoopers, man. I think Dorian Finney-Smith also fits on this team. I think him, Royce O'Neal, and Spencer Dinwiddie you can just take and put on any team looking for a championship, and they'll fit pretty damn good.
Here's the thing. Mikal Bridges is worth whatever they'll take.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
He is 27, is in his prime. He's locked up for another 4 years, 3 years after this.
It's awesome.
Downside is, and the contract is descending, first of all. So it goes down to $23 million next year. Problem, obviously, is the salary cap. Like you said, problem is the Grizzlies are $193 million as it stands right now with next year's salary, without adding anything, just opting in Luke and everything. That $193 million next year. That's the second apron. And there's no way the second apron is 191 or 192. I think no way that's happening. No. If you're taking on Mikal Bridges, which again would be amazing. The problem is, again, you have to renounce Luke. You're probably giving him Luke in that trade anyway. Like you're
Luke's probably gone. Steve-O's probably gone.
You're probably, I don't know about Steve-O, but you're looking at
Luke.
You're giving up Luke at least, and you're giving up probably Luke and Brandon Clark.
Yep,
if you're just trying to get, if I'm trying to give them players in less draft picks, I would start with Luke and Brandon Clark, and then maybe 3 or 4 draft first round.
3 or 4.
That gets you off a lot of money. Get you off almost $30 million. That's the case. You can afford Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's 20. Sorry, his regular contract. He's 23 million next year, 24 million next year. I was looking at Cameron Johnson's contract. Mikal Bridges has 2 more years left on his deal. Still, you put Bridges on this roster, who's averaging 10 3-pointers and making 6.6 alongside Desmond Bane.
A roster wins a championship, man.
A roster wins a championship, 100%. With the healthy Ja, Mikal Bridges, Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, who would also be on your roster still. Don't forget about that.
Yep, Vince Williams Jr.
And Steven Adams as your center. That is a championship. I mean, at that point you'd have Vince Williams coming off the bench. You'd have Gigi Jackson probably coming off the bench. Santi Aldama coming off the bench.
That's your 8-man rotation. I mean, you've got other guys after that you don't need. You got David Roddy. I mean, like
you'd have David Roddy too. Again, I'm with you. If you have the opportunity to get Mikal Bridges, give them whatever they want. He will be worth whatever first round pick you get. Because you look at it, if you give them 4 first rounders, that's next year's 2 year. He's here for another 2 years at least. So the next 2 years, your draft pick's not going to be good anyway. That's the hope, right?
Yeah.
And this year's draft pick's has already gone anyway. So like it would be this year and the next 2 years after that. So the next 3 first rounders you would think hopefully aren't going to be good anyway. So why do you care, right? Who cares? If you have the opportunity to you get something from Mikal Bridges, give them whatever they want. I would give them Luke, Brandon, Luke, and Steven. It's going to start with Luke. It's going to be Luke and somebody. But I would give him any of those.
The money. I mean, Luke's got the most money. That's why he's the easiest asset to trade right now. Like he's making the most money. He's got a skill a lot of people want.
The thing is that I don't think the Nets are going to give up Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know that he's been reportedly I think I've seen it a couple times where he's been reported like being shopped though.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
That would be a Brooklyn thing to do. But again, the problem is you and every other team in this league want him. So it is going to be an overpay. That's 100%. But I'm willing to make that overpay. I think because I think the
Same.
result is you have a legitimate championship contending team. Who else on this team do you want besides Mikal Bridges?
Nick Claxton.
Realistically, Nick Claxton. Who else did you say?
Nick Claxton is my next one, and I like Dorian Finney-Smith, but I don't know. I also like Royce O'Neal and I like Spencer Dinwiddie, but I don't think that. I think other teams need what they bring to the table more than we do. You know, Royce O'Neal is like a Bruce Brown guy. You put him on half the rosters in the league, he's going to help them. Dinwiddie's making a little bit more money than I'm accustomed to for what would be a backup point guard for us, so I'm good with passing on him. But Nick Claxton, like I said, you're going to have to pay him. But it just depends on, I don't know what the market is for, what do you pay a center? Like, what are bigs making? You know, is paying a big really that much money? When
you look at what does Steven Adams make? You know, he signed that deal 2 years ago, and he is a excellent rebounder, and he is an excellent, on defense. So he's making like $13 million a year. Brandon Clark's making
he took 14. A pay cut, right?
I don't remember if he took a pay cut or not.
I made that up.
Brandon Clark is making same thing, $12.5 million. Or they're both making $12.5 million. So that's your floor for someone like Nick Claxton. You're probably paying him more like $15 million a year, $16 million a year.
That's what I was thinking. $15 million.
It's probably what I would probably put him at. But again, Nick Claxton, if you trade for him, he's making $9 million now. Probably he's unrestricted this year. So you don't trade for him without the pretty much assurance from a agent, like, yeah, we're good to stay here. Kind of thing.
We're staying
like,
here long term.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
I would love to have Nick Claxton on this team.
He's good, man.
He's good. You have Nick Claxton again. You're probably giving up Brandon Clark. And that's where you got to be. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, like, am I okay, or is the team okay with it?
Both. Are you okay with that?
Man, I like PC. I would give him up for Mikal Bridges. I don't know if I would give him up for Nick Claxton.
If they would take Steven Adams, I think they would. But again, the other problem with
that's what I would do. That's what I would
do. The biggest problem with Steven Adams and Brandon Clark right now is the unknown. And I just don't think teams are going to trade for those guys right now. I think that's going to be your ultimate issue, trying to move those guys for another big. Is I just don't think a lot of teams are interested in Brandon Clark coming off an Achilles injury when his whole game is predicated on being athletic. And it's like, well, we might be interested next year when he's good again.
Not
if
right
we
now.
see it, right? We see it. But that's a lot of like, now if they know they're not getting Nick Claxton back, right? If Nick Claxton's already said, hey, I'm not coming back here.
I'm bouncing.
Right? Just so that you're like, just so you know, then maybe that's a different story for the Nets. Then you're going to go and you want to trade him to get as much as you can for him, whatever you can for him. And if that's a hurt Brandon Clark, then so be it. But I think there's a lot of things that we're not privy to.
If they want Luke, do you do it? I don't know why I don't know why they would say that, but if they
for Nick Claxton,
I would.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I do it. Yeah.
Again, that's with the caveat that Nick Claxton's going to re-sign here because he's an unrestricted free agent this summer. You don't want to trade people for nothing. But Luke would be a good, if you traded Luke, wouldn't be that bad because if you don't pick up his option, like your plan is not pick up the option anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And Nick Claxton, that's no harm, no foul, really. But I don't think you're getting him for just Luke. You're gonna have to give up picks for him as well. So that's where you run into whatever. But anybody else besides those guys you want on this roster? I don't.
Nope. That's about it.
Yeah.
You mentioned Ben Simmons. Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
None of our superstars are making as much as Ben Simmons. If that makes Grizzlies fans feel better in today's show, I promise you it should. Because
40 million fucking asshole.
They got this year and a whole nother year of that dude's salary on their cap. No, thank you. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about hopefully a W. We'll see. If we get one, great. If not, we'll talk about the game either way. We'll preview the Warriors game as well. Then I'm off to LA for the weekend. I'll be out there having a good time, and it's supposed to be sunny and 68. So hopefully we'll get that as well. I'll be back on Monday for the show. But We will be back with another show tomorrow before we get out of here for the weekend. And hopefully we'll be discussing wins, previews, and another trade partner. So if you have a trade that you want to see, or you fire up the trade machine, send us your trades. If you want us to talk about it, we will most certainly do that. And we'll let you know if it's realistic or if it might happen or not. Tomorrow, we will see you then.